So we have a devastating story here. I apologize, you guys. This article is wanting to bring ads up. Akron police video shows Jayland Walker being shot up to 60 times. 60 times. Oh, this was an article. Here we go. As Akron, Ohio police released body camera footage Sunday of the fatal shooting of black motorist Jayland Walker, showing multiple police officers discharging a hail of bullets. Policing experts say the video produces more questions than answers early on. Officers shot and killed Walker, who was 25, on Monday as he fled police who were pursuing him. That's it right there, right? That's all we need. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. I thought I had this up on the screen. I am exhausted. I've not a good stream so far. And I bring the wrong thing up. This is just going great. Here we go. Okay. It's a USA Today article. I apologize for that. But they say here, officers shot and killed Walker on Monday as he fled police. It is not a crime. Well, okay, it might be a crime. It is not a death sentence to flee police. In order to kill somebody legally, you have to believe that that person is a threat to your life. That applies to cops too. Well, it's supposed to, right? It's supposed to. You can't just say he was running away from me, so I shot him 60 fucking times. Can you imagine if you or I did that, let alone if you or I did that to a cop? Can you imagine how USA Today would be presenting it? It wouldn't be like, man shot by police, further investigation ongoing. You know, that's how they're always so sterile in how they frame this stuff, because most of these papers, most of the time, engage in Copaganda. Fled police and got shot 60 times for it. Just absolutely insane. Pursuing him for a traffic violation and an equipment violation. A traffic violation. I just, at some point, I run out of things to say. Again, it's one of those hardly surprising but morally shocking and stunning every time that it happens. Video showed officers unsuccessfully attempting to stop Walker using tasers as he fled his car before discharging a flurry of rounds, killing him. Gee, if someone's running away from you and you start tasing him, do you think that's going to make him stop running away? The footage released by police Sunday includes a narrated video of the events leading up to the shooting, as well as body camera footage of police pursuit of Walker and the fatal gunfire. Walker's body was blurred in the video at the request of his family, according to police. At a news conference Sunday, Police Chief Stephen Milet said the medical examiner determined about 60 wounds on Walker's body. It was not yet clear how many shots were fired by the 8 officers who were involved in the shooting. Think about that, though, you guys. They probably didn't hit every time, right? What does 60 shots in his body mean? Did they shoot 80, 90, 100 times? Walker was pronounced dead at the scene, and his death from multiple gunshot wounds was ruled a homicide, according to the medical examiner. No shit. Like, they have to throw that in, right? No, it was natural causes. USA Today spoke to 2 criminal justice and policing experts who say the videos on their own ultimately do not provide full clarity on key moments in the shooting. Of course. Including what led officers to switch from taser use to deadly force and what led to the volume of gunfire. I can't even read this, you guys. I mean, I picked this article because of how it frames this murder. But look at that. Look at that. They're leaving the door open to the possibility that shooting a man 60 times who was running away from you was somehow justified. How can you look yourself in the mirror and call yourself a journalist and write that drivel? That's offensive. I don't use that word very often. That is fucking offensive. That should offend the sensibilities of any decent journalist and any decent human being on the planet. Shame on USA Today. And actually, I want to call him out by name. Who wrote this fucking piece of shit? This is by Katie Stanton. Shame on you, Katie Stanton, for engaging in rank propaganda. Leaving the door open for, maybe those 60 shots in his back were justified. Again, I want you to ask yourself, what if a civilian chased and shot a cop 60 times, or a group of civilians chased and shot a cop 60 times while the cop was running from him? How would that be worded in USA Today by Katie Stanton? We must, as I say every time I talk about this shit, defund and abolish police. They're ineffective at solving and preventing violent crime. They engage in theft all the time. They call it asset forfeiture, but it's theft. In fact, in recent years, they have crossed the line so that they are now stealing more from people than burglars do with their asset forfeiture. You can go ahead and look that up. Again, I would have brought that up on the screen if I'd have thought I was going to mention it. They steal more than the burglars they are supposedly there to apprehend do. They commit violence constantly against not just the Black community, but the indigenous community and protesters and the impoverished community and on and on. Their job, essentially, is to criminalize poverty in many, many ways, right? They enforce evictions. They go after homeless people, etc. This institution is one that we're going to keep around. Why? Why? You can't even say that they're good at their fucking job. What portion of rapists go to jail, you guys? Isn't it like 1 or 2%? What portion of rapes are solved? What portion of murders are solved? Go look at the numbers. When you throw more cops into a community, that community does not become safer. It doesn't. The communities with the most cops are the least safe communities. You know what makes a community more safe? Housing reform. A federal jobs guarantee would do wonders to making communities more safe by lifting the floor on the currently impoverished people, right? Medicare for All would do wonders for the crime rate. Education reform and robust funding of education, right? Mental health services and rehab services, robust, publicly funded, free at the point of service. All of this would actually cut into crime and uplift society, improve society. Cops don't do that. They're not even good at the one thing they constantly fearmonger about. Just look at the Uvalde shooting, you guys. So we need to defund and abolish police and start from scratch and build an institution that is not a bunch of armed, quite frankly, many fascist, raging maniacs who were born as an institution out of slave catchers. I think we can do a little better than that when it comes to public safety and enforcing public safety. We need to defund, abolish police, start from scratch. I hope there is justice for Jayland Walker. I will hold my breath on that because, you know, I didn't think there could be a much more egregious case than Breonna Taylor, for example, or many others. There are too many names at this point for me to have ready to pop out at the top of my head, but Breonna Taylor was certainly, in my view, about as egregious as a shooting can get. How do you claim self-defense when you break into somebody's fucking apartment? Those cops got to walk free, right? They weren't even, a grand jury refused to indict them. Of course, that's in part because Daniel can't, well, it's a whole long fucking story. Mitch McConnell's protege was in charge of the prosecution of those officers to the grand jury. It's a whole story. But the point is, these institutions defend cops. Even when they murder people in the most brazen, blatant, outrageous, in-your-face kinds of ways. Like this. 60 shots for running away. 60 shots for running away. I hope these cops are charged and brought to justice, but we need to fix this institution. That's the wrong word. We need to dismantle this institution and rebuild an institution that's actually there to serve us, serve the people, serve society, and look out for public welfare. Because that's not at all what cops do. Not at all. Not even a tiny bit.